Welcome back everyone, Zeke here for episode 2 in this Resident Evil 4 Remastered walkthrough on the PlayStation 4. As a quick recap, we are in section 1-2 of the story. We're at the part that we've just rescued Louise, Sarah and come across the merchant. Obviously we ended the last episode with us buying the sniper rifle. And the first thing that you want to be doing in this particular episode, if you do have the sniper rifle, is come into this little V section in the wall and start sniping a couple of the enemies that you can see. Not only will this obviously reduce the amount of enemies in this area, but it will also come in pretty handy when you do have to traverse through this area, so they're not all sort of spread about. Just a quick note of warning that in this area the enemies will have a dynamite, and of course if you are using the rifle, try and get the headshots, otherwise they will take 2 body shots for the enemies to be killed. If any of the enemies are on the bridges that you can see just as you look straight down from this V shape, one shot with any sort of gun will be able to knock the enemies off the bridge, which is always quite handy. Obviously you won't be able to pick up anything from their bodies, but they will be gone with minimal effort. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to leave a like, comment, share and subscribe, and stay up to date with all my particular newly released content. And of course, if you've like Resident Evil 4, or if you have any comments or suggestions for me, please leave them in the comments section below. So you see just a couple of sniping things there. Obviously a path all the way up to the right, we will go through there at some point, and buildings on the left. With every area, try and get as many of the enemies as possible. I can't see any more there, so what I'm going to do is just quickly switch across to the pistol. Obviously combine the herbs that we can do and that are available to us, just to free up a couple of, or a little bit of inventory space there. And as soon as you go through the door, you're going to have this guy on the right hand side. It's a bit annoying. As we said, be careful because they do have dynamite, but always utilise your knife when you can, it will save a little bit of ammo. And I was a little bit unlucky with this guy. I was going to kick the guy that I got the headshot off, but obviously his friend's head exploded, and obviously with this game they can sometimes grab you even when they have no head. So of course, just quickly eating one of the eggs that we'd actually picked up in the last episode, using the incendiary grenade there to get the large group of enemies. That secondary explosion was obviously the guy just behind them throwing dynamite, you can see there. Of course, if you do retreat all the way back onto this path, most of the time you will avoid the dynamite that they chuck. So that's obviously dealt with an awful lot of the enemies. Obviously there is still more, and whenever they throw axes at you like that, you can be quite careful. If you run straight forward, normally to the left or to the right of the enemy, you will avoid that axe attack. And we go through the second door, and there's going to be enemies in here as well. Of course, if they are clumped together like that, always utilise the kick. It's a nice area of effect attack. And you want to move slightly a little bit away from the windowsill, not too much, only because they can still slash you in the windowsill. One little quick tip and hint for it, remember if a explosion is about to go off, if you pick up an item or engage in a melee attack, you are temporarily invincible for a split second, as you noticed there. You chuck the dynamite at my feet, I got the kick off and was immune to their attack. Of course, if you do want to get up high, there is plenty of ladders for everyone to try and do it. Of course, if you can try and get some of the enemies between you and the people who took the dynamite, it does also help as well. As we said in the previous episode as well, if you do happen to shoot the dynamite sticks, that will also explode them, or make them explode, shall I say. I'm very careful here, don't really have that much health left, so you're going to get somewhere safe. And of course, this building is really nice to hide in. If you hug the sort of, as you come in, the far right hand corner by the locker, or just in front of the locker, most of the time when they chuck dynamite, it will bounce off the wall and not be able to hurt you. Of course, utilising the other eggs, still saving that gold egg as much as we possibly can there, because that will fully restore our health. And remember, always utilise the herbs when you can. red and green will fully upgrade, or fully restore your health. Red, green and yellow will fully restore your health and give you a little bit more as well. So just being very careful here, utilising the kicks as much as we possibly can. If you are feeling a bit adventurous, you can climb up the ladder and either shoot or knife them as they come up to you. It's a nice little cheaty way. And so far all the enemies have decided they really want to grapple me. I'm not doing very well in this particular episode. I've utilised way too many health items. I wanted to actually save most of those, but so far it's not the case. And I don't know how my shotgun blast hit that guy then. He was probably out of the shotgun blast range, but not going to complain. Always make sure you're picking up stuff from their bodies as well. Goes without saying they're going to drop ammo potentially, or money, which comes in handy as well to upgrade your guns when you get to the merchant. Also, another quick tip that goes without saying, of course, if you get a spare minute when there's no enemies trying to kill you, always try and make sure you reload your guns as well, because you never know when there's going to be a firefight. I think with that enemy down, that is actually going to be the last enemy in this area that we need to worry about. So the main things that you now need to do, or that we now need to do, is actually find 2 bits of a emblem to be able to open the blue door just below me there. Of course, always take the time to search the area as well, obviously making sure that you actually pick up ammo, unlike I almost did there. And there we go, drop down here. Absolutely fantastic. And carry on down this way to the building that we pretty much walked away from earlier. Completely forgot there was an explosive red barrel there. That would have actually been quite handy. Search the corners as well, because there's going to be ammo practically anywhere and everywhere in here. And the first emblem is going to be in the chest right behind you as soon as you go up the ladder. I believe that's the right half. Yep, there we go. And the left half, excuse me. The left half is going to be on the right hand side ledge that we haven't gone up to just yet, but we'll go there next. It's a little bit silly there. I could have just carried on walking through or over that roof, but I didn't, and that was a bit weird. And there, again, through all the times I've played this game, I still forget that you can't jump down the other side, because that actually leads to a sort of dead drop. And Leon's a bit like the Terminator. You can't self-terminate and kill yourself by jumping off ledges like that. So we're going to continue up this way, and of course, if you don't happen to kill the enemies the way I did, when you come up here for the first time, there's typically either a guy with, or a couple of guys with an axe, or there's going to be a person with dynamite. If in that case, aim for the barrel, and you'll be able to take most of them down. And of course, this area is a quite nice place to hold off, because they can't climb up, and you've just got the straight shot straight down there. So before we go through the door, we're going to have a little bit of a quick check around the side of the building. I was expecting at least 1 barrel, if not more there. There wasn't any. Quickly check the map to make sure there's no treasures. Of course, whenever the merchant offers it, always pick up one of the treasure maps, because they will really come in handy. Combine the 2 halves of the emblems to get the full emblem, then go up to the door and use the emblem on it. Self-explanatory there. So going through into the next area, before we go through the main door then, just have a little bit of a look around, destroy all the barrels that are floating about. Obviously, we want to make sure we've got enough ammo and enough money as we possibly can, and of course you can see a mask just to about 2 o'clock, or 1 o'clock now from where we're standing. You won't be able to get that just yet, but I will pick it up as we go through this area, so don't you worry at all about that. Of course, always listen out for the audio cues as well. Whenever there's enemies about, the music will slightly change throughout the game, so that gives a nice little indication. And in this particular area, there's going to be quite a few enemies down this little path. But as we've done before, utilize the headshots, the kicks, as much as possible. Of course, if you did want to go crazy with, say, a sniper rifle or anything like that, you certainly can. 3 quick headshots would go quite nicely in this particular area. Okay, make that 4. He decided he wants to cheat. Of course, while I'm constantly going for the headshots here, you can go for their knees, and that would also lend them quite nicely for a melee attack. I just prefer the headshots because not only does it do more damage to them, but also makes them recoil and go back a little bit, which is always handy. Of course, try and bunch them up when you do the kick as well, because that will damage more than one enemy. I couldn't really decide who to shoot for then, and at this stage I really should be saving my ammo and actually just running towards him when he's recoiling, but I knew he wasn't going to take that much, so that doesn't really matter. Picked up some handgun bullets, so that's always brilliant, and just follow the path around. Don't forget the barrel in the corner, and we'll jump through the window. Now at this stage, if you do have grenade, it's going to be a little bit easier for you. If not, don't worry at all. First thing you want to do is just crouch behind this cover, because they will chuck dynamite, and that's the only way to avoid the splash damage. Have a grenade, aim up towards the rafter, and chuck it just over the sandbags. And I only crouched down there because I thought another dynamite was coming towards me. Be careful in this area on the floor as well, because there is going to be bear traps. Also, you can close these, as we've seen in the previous episode, by either shooting them, by stepping on them, which I don't recommend because it will hurt you, or by using your knife. Once they have been closed using any of those ways, well, obviously with explosive damage, I forgot to say that. Once they've been closed, feel free to walk over them then. I would personally do the path around, only because if you jump over you're going to have to be very careful not to hit one of the 3 bear traps that are there. And of course, if you do happen to step in one of the bear traps, you are going to be setting yourself up very nicely for an enemy to hit you, which we don't want. What I do love about Resident Evil 4, it does lend itself quite nicely to that thing of exploration, and you've got to look everywhere because they will hide treasures pretty much in the strangest of places, including that mask, which we are just about to go get as we come through this door. Just gonna go make a beeline to the left and destroy the bars on the window, and there we have it, the elegant mask. Once we hit a merchant, do not sell this straight away because you will actually come across some gems that can go in it. There's 3 gems that needs to go into the mask to get to its full value, and it is really worth saving it for that. Of course, if there is actually an upgrade that you desperately need, for example a capacity upgrade, some health if you're just about to go into a boss fight or anything like that, feel free to use it, but my recommendation is just to hold off as much as you possibly can. So going to continue down this path now, and I thought I saw something shiny, so I was just having a little bit look behind me, but nothing to worry about there. There's going to be 1 enemy on this pathway. Get a headshot and you can just kick him over the side. I cannot believe that actually worked. I was expecting to have to try and do that twice. And what some people might not know is if you jump down, there's always some ammo or some coins and money down here, so definitely recommend popping down to have a little bit of a look. And of course, the fish that you see swimming about, if you do shoot them, you can actually pick them up and carry them in your inventory for a little bit of health. Don't shoot the really big fish, otherwise that will take an awful lot of your inventory slots, which I don't think we're going to have that much room for. As soon as you come up, if you want to, you can shoot the birds. Not that I'm recommending animal cruelty at all, it's just they will tend to always drop some form of ammo or some money. As of course this game does revolve around money quite a lot. And don't forget, there is a key treasure here. Just turn around, remember, shoot the plank first, then shoot the pendant, otherwise you will get it dirty and it will lose some of its value. Go into this little outhouse shed thing, for want of a better word, break open the boxes, and then once we move up towards the house. Coming up is one of the first Resident Evil 4 puzzles. It's really simple though. Basically you just have to match the symbol on the door to it. So it's a large crystal ball. Which way do you want to turn it? You want to turn it up, and then you want to turn it to the left, and that is it done. See, really simple. They do get harder as the game goes along. And once you come through, you want to pick up the key, and then turn around and go into the closet after reading the little note, should you so wish, to pick up some money, I believe. Once you leave the room, there will instigate a cutscene, which I'll go momentarily a little bit quiet for, because I don't want to be spoiling any.
Nuestro jefe se cuidará de la rata. Si la plaga es mucho mejor que la nuestra. Tienes razón.
You carry the same blood as us, it seems. Nevertheless, you're an outsider. Just remember, if you become unpleasant to our eyes, you'll face severe consequences.
What? Same blood.
Leon, I've been able to get some new info that might help you.
Fill me in.
Apparently, there's a religious cult group involved. They're called the Los Illuminados.
Los Illuminados? That's a mouthful. Anyway, I had an unexpected run-in with the big cheese of this village.
But you're okay, right?
Yeah, but he could have killed me, but he let me live. And he mentioned something about me carrying the same blood as them. Whatever that means.
Carry the same blood. Huh. Interesting.
Anyway, there are more important things than solving riddles right now.
You're right. Hurry and find that church, Leon.
So clearly Agent Hannigan's getting a bit impatient with us. We should have found the President's daughter already. Of course, little cheeky herb there hidden in the case. And what you want to do, as soon as you come down, if you hug to the right of the stairs, you can go into this little door and disturb some guy while he's taking a leak. Not very nice of us to do, but hey, we want to make sure the house is clear and full of enemies. Or free of enemies, shall I say, not full of enemies, we don't want that. Then if you go down by the dining room table and just go into this little outhouse here, there's normally a grenade in the cabinet and something in the chest of drawers. And then there's a save point coming up, which we will save at and leave the video there. But before we do, just check the oven. There is normally an egg in there. So we're going to save it there and continue the story in the next episode. Of course, if you enjoyed it, please don't hesitate to leave a like, comment, share and subscribe. And as always, have a lovely day.